Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to AOR, Apex Online Racing's great Super Formula League here on iRacing. Round number 7 takes us to the wonderful, wonderful circuit of Zandvoot. Going to really enjoy this. My name is King Kodiak. I'll be bringing you the action here along with my faithful companion, Mr. Domino. Good evening to you, sir.
Well, thank you for having me. This is gonna be exciting. This is a real driver's track, so I'm really excited for this. iRacing have uploaded the newly remodeled version of this one after they rejoined Formula 1, so these cars around here,
yes,
this is going to be great.
Very, very high downforce, very little in the way of straights. This is going to be about balance and momentum as we now look at Max Schneider, the 72 SIMRC entrant. Now, bear in mind, it is solo qualifying. You won't see anybody else out there at the same time. It's just a single timed lap they have. It's literally do or die, all or nothing for the sprint race. 2 races at this wonderful circuit as we see Max now just coming around the Ari Lyondike curve to start his one and only time. But look at the banking. It's so steep.
It really is, and it's a challenge for these cars or particularly these cars around here, that they don't really get in any other part of the season. As you see René Osterkamp, we are on board with him here into even turn 1. There's a little bit of camping going on, and you really like that as a driver for overtaking. Maybe not see every corner here as a camber, and this is extreme. They're keeping it up high, where you normally would want to go in for the apex, but the high way around there you can get more speed through the corners. So what you're seeing there, but it's just blind corner after blind corner. You have to really throw it out there. That curb on the inside you just saw really throws you off, because if you hit that, the entire entry to that corner can be compromised. But Ren is really pushing it out there. Oh, a little bit of a moment there, trying to get everything, all of the horsepower down through these slick tires, getting into the chicane. This is really a Mickey Mouse corner again here. The camber, what you really, it's just a lovely track to drive, but because you are so much on the edge, and here you can really see the extreme banking as he's trying, and this is one short lap, and he's going to cross the finish line, and that is...
Well, what a surprise.
Pole position at the moment. Pole position.
Oh, goodness me.
Yeah.
146, René Osterkamp setting the standard high. Oh, dear, and that's Eric Vizzi losing the tail of the car backwards into the wall. Oh, goodness me. That's how hard this circuit is, and especially at that particular point, the Hans S box or Hans S corner. And yeah, the car just does not want to behave itself now. Not surprising. Let's just look at it again.
No, let's see that again here. He's just getting in, hitting that curb a little bit too much and unstable. Yeah, and then he hits the wall, so that rear wing will be bent a little bit. And as we talked about before, it's only 1 lap qualifying. So for one of our contenders in the championship, that is not a great
No, indeed. So Eric Vizzi's got a lot of work to do at a circuit that's not easy to overtake on, even in these very high downforce cars. Peter Parnell, number 55. He's gone through sector 1 and 2. He's coming towards the end of his lap. Well, coming to the middle of the lap, I should say, as Jonsi Lin up into second place in the number 30, just 3/10 off the back of René Osterkamp. Now, this is where Eric Vizzi got it all wrong. He saw Peter Parnell's car get a bit uncomfortable coming through that 180-degree right-hander, left-hander, can't give me left and right now, as Peter Parnell then comes around the final turn. What can he get on the board? It is
one of our gentleman drivers here, and he will be a bit off at P13.
So again, that's not necessarily a reflection of his standard. That's just how difficult this circuit is. It is not a circuit you just jump in and drive and expect to do well. But this is how the grid for the sprint race starts out. René Osterkamp and Jonsi Lin at the top of the field. We've got 13 cars at least to set a time in this session. So Peter Parnell, of course, in the Pineapple Grips car, number 55 being the tail end of it. May well show him as 4 seconds off the pace, but look little into that at this point, because this is all about consistency. You can argue every circuit is, but when you've got circuits that have a lot of areas where you can make up time, you can afford a mistake or two here and there. Zandvoot is not one of those circuits. Look how close the barriers are. That's pretty indicative all the way around the circuit. And equally, because it's so twisty, if you make a mistake, you could end up in someone else's path.
Yeah, and this track, it bites you, and that's one of the great things about it, you know. A mistake will get punished. So you have to be on it for the entire race. If you make a small error, it will end in tears and a big crash, because there's no crash around here. There's a small one. The cars are you're so much on the edge of what the downforce can provide you, and you're just you're pushing and you're so much on the edge every time to get the
you are
holding
on for dear life.
Yeah, exactly, and this is really a track as well where the tires are put to everything is just put to the limit, and if you dip a wheel onto the grass, you will get sent in, and you will you're
sent off into the twilight zone if you touch the grass here. But I mean, it's really indicative, isn't it? We had 13 times out of 19 drivers that attempted it, and these are some great drivers out here. So let's not mince words. This is a difficult circuit, but we are gridding up now, ready for the opening race of this evening's festivities here in Zandvoort. A fabulous track, but very difficult, as we've said. 20 minutes for the sprint race. Come on then, let's bring on the lights. We know this process by now. Everyone is revving away. It is time to wind them up and let them go. A storming start from René Oosterkamp. Of course it is. We expect nothing less from the veteran. 3 wide, as always, into Tarzan. Into turn 1 of anywhere is always multiple wide. But here the track is fairly wide, but it's very unforgiving. As you're sealing. How did you keep that out of the wall? Lots of braking and hoping, I dare say. But that gives Mate Pugnis up into second place. Eric Muska fourth in the 144 car, heavy in pursuit. Now you see the green lights. We've seen how well the push to pass. That's what that green light is for. Above the driver's head, it flashes when the push to pass is in use, or flashes quickly, I should say, when it's in use, and flashes slowly when it is when it's on cooldown again. It will go red when they have got to the end of their allocation. Is there a potential pass there for second?
Oh, there's a pass for P2 there. Charlie just got on the inside of Marcus. He didn't get a great exit out of turn 1, but what I here on my data here, I can see that we had a crash at the beginning. So let's see if we can find a replay of that at some point. But what a start there, and just as you saw through that corner with the high banking, we saw Marcus just get a little bit he didn't brake too much there, and Charlie got way high in there, and then he passed him on the inside. Normally not a place where you will get that, but you can do it if you really.
Waldo's got a great view of the battle right ahead of him. Oh, apparently he's in the race twice in 16th. Nice one. There's Luke and Gramke there. We just saw briefly on the overlay at the bottom. But no, there's trouble. Oh my goodness me! Is that Waldo that had trouble there? Jerry.
That car doesn't seem to drive as it should. Oh, that's
the end of that race. Unfortunately, it was indeed Alexander Waldo. I didn't see him hit anything. So whether someone had hit him, I don't know. But I didn't see what quite happened there. Either way, he's pulled over, unless he had some kind of technical problem, a wheel issue or what have you. A great shame for his sprint race to end so early. But as we are now looking centre stage, Rudolf Nagel chasing Eric Muska for 4th position. The 144 car defending against the 22. They are now kind of separated a little bit. or most of them are, as we just got to Max Schneider defending against Evan Imre. Fastest lap we got into René Osterkamp. Again, I mean no disrespect, but you kind of expect it for someone of his caliber. He is just, he is the alien of the aliens. Let's be honest. He's one in. If it has a virtual engine and virtual wheels, he's one in it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it was Robert Young that Schneider just overtook there, and Robert here defending the PCDC colors out there. He has had some good and some bad luck during the season. Ooh, that's a moment. That is a and again. And he caught it there.
Well, and still going on.
And see. Yeah, because the car just as we see
there's Neil Goonan in the number 6 car facing the wrong way. What on earth happened here? Too much.
Just being a little bit too greedy on the throttle there, and just slowly hitting the wall. Well, I mean,
he hit the wall sideways quite hard, so that's not really a surprise. But Jonsi Lin is hanging on to the back of René Osterkamp. Push the pass there. You see the flashing green light over the driver's head of both René Osterkamp and Jerry Lin. Interesting that René feels the need to use push to pass in a defensive manner already. So Jerry Lin doing a great job of keeping the great René Osterkamp under pressure. Here we go again. Muska and Nagel. Again, that high line coming into that hairpin is where the most traction is, and probably where the fewest bumps are. One thing this track certainly is, as well as twisty, is bumpy. Oh dear, that's trouble. That's big. Oh my goodness me.
Oh my
huge trouble there. Eric Vissy involved in another incident. My goodness me.
He's just trying to go for a gap that was always gonna close.
3 cars utterly scrapped, basically. Let's look at it again. I wonder whether he was caught out by Shofi Lai. Just braking a bit earlier than he was expecting. So I wonder whether he was trying to go for the gap out of avoidance more than actually trying to make the move.
Yeah, and I think the gap closed a little bit more than he had expected, but just that car getting launched into the air as well, that can have been good for your suspension. So interesting to see if he's just gonna write this down as being like, nope, I will do the feature race instead and get the points there and take this as a loss, because he has not had a great start for this particular night
qualifying
race.
And then a huge incident early on. Oh dear, that's Stefan Schlacher in.
Yeah, that's the rest of the car after being hit twice. And these cars are fragile, at the best. And getting one car on top of you and another car ramming you as well, that's definitely gonna take a little bit of time into the pits to get that car out and running. And as we just see Daniel Scott having a little bit of a lockup here, he's really trying to pile on the pressure of Robert de Jong, but Moffel there seemed to get a little bit further away, but the gap is within 0.7 of a second, and they can really, with these cars, even though they are high downforce and stuff like that, the cars are really created so they can be close to each other without losing too much time behind each other, like the Formula 1
car that Daniel Scott car's livery is modelling. Push the pass for him, not for Robert de Jong, and he's made the move, and that's how powerful it is. Oh, that was close. Well defended by the number 47. Kept his head, kept his line, and kept the position. But Daniel Scott knew when to bow out of that. But again, his car is not balanced at all. Oh no, the Robert de Jong has had a big issue there. Did he just ground the car out? What happened here? Let's see the replays.
Oh, has he been a bit too eager with the throttle? Yeah, he has. And that's one of the things, again, with that corner, when you're getting so far down low, you might have an issue with the car being grounded a little bit. So, that's also a thing of being high there. It doesn't have too much.
That's it. I mean, your four wheels are not in as much contact with the ground as you're kind of used to. As we now look at Daniel Scott now in a defensive posture against Jan Ferkel in the number 3, pushing the number 31 for another spot inside the top 10. You can now see the tower with René Osterkamp, I'm guessing. Yes, he only improved on his fastest lap by, what, 100 there? It wasn't very much, but he's really gapping him between himself and Yaunshi Lin, who has proven this season how prepared he is to really push on and challenge for, well, he got the win, didn't he, a few races ago? So in a way that caused me to scream to the heavens. That's going in my next show reel, I reckon, that particular clip.
Oh yeah, and that's not a place to overtake. Oh no. Oh my god, 2 cars side by side here through, it's never gonna work. But he's just looking at everywhere he can to try and get by Daniel Scott at this point in time. But yeah, Jalin has been proving that he's one of the fast guys out there, but he do lack the consistency. Where René is, you know, when you look up consistency, you will see a picture of him. But beside the winner as well, those 2 synonyms we can give him for this particular season, and he's getting away a little bit. But what we have seen here throughout this race is that, you know, the track here will bite you if you make a mistake. There,
so that's going to give a bit of breathing space to Daniel Scott. We now look at the battle for 6th position between Kai Forza and Max Schneider. Max we saw briefly in the qualifying session, the CMRC emblazoned number 72. What can he do against the green machine ahead of him? I very much approve of the colour scheme. Another battle here, another duo, Rudolf Nagel and Eric Muska continuing their duel for 4th place just outside the podium. And here we go again. No, Jan has gotten past Daniel Scott now. So, his persistence has paid off. He must have done that in a very unorthodox way, unless Daniel Scott had a pretty bad run along the start-finish straight. We saw that Jan was a little bit wide going through Ari Leyendyk, which would have compromised him all the way down the start-finish straight. But either way, Jan has managed to get past. Has already got himself, you can see the timing at the bottom, about half a second. So this is why Jan was really desperate to get past Daniel Scott's Quincy good. Oh no, another victim of heavy right footitis. Not enough traction not enough attraction. No, that's another thing entirely. Not enough traction being demanded of the car. So round he went, and we are going to see plenty more of that.
Oh, definitely we are, and you know, you're pushing in this car, and there's no ABS, there's no traction control, there's nothing to help you here. There's just a big engine at the back of the cars. We see Robert De Jong here battling with I think that was
after a spin.
Yeah, Daniel Scott. Yeah, I think he's just past him. But you know, we saw De Jong have that as well. You know, where you're just being a little bit too greedy with the throttle, and you just don't have the grip that you're expecting there to be. So it's just these are amazing cars to drive, but when they bite, they bite a lot. But we have seen great racing. Ooh, that was one hell of a move as well. You know, not really landing up into turn 1 there. So status quo between these two guys.
To what is now the battle of 7th place. Kai Forza and Max Schneider continuing their argument. The 72 cars trying to keep the pressure on. I just saw the eyes on the side of Kai's car there. That's that. I can't unsee
it's
that now. I'm going to be looking for that every time we see him. What have we got?
I will expect you to as well.
Oh
but
no, you can't ride the curb in these things. Oh, well avoided there. Now you saw.
Oh, don't go that
what
way.
He was trying to do was trying to roll out of the way and then roll, and unfortunately then ended up rolling back in the way. We're now live once again. Luca Gramke trying to get past Nyok there, but no dice there. Both of them using push to pass one to try and attack, one to maintain his position. Daniel Scott on the back of Robert De Jong there. We saw the Mercedes flavoured car after that spin losing that 11th spot. Oh, a bit of a lock up there from Robert De Jong. But this circuit is just so full of surprises. It's very bumpy, very, very difficult. And you're trying your best to keep your car balanced. And exactly as you say, Nick, these cars are drivable, but you push that tiny bit too far, and they are so unforgiving. They're not a GT car. A GT car of almost any description, if it starts to let go, you generally can catch it. These things, forget it. It's hope you don't smack the ball.
Oh yeah, definitely. And once you have had a little bit of a tail-happy moment and you've caught it, you will have light up the rear tires, and then they're just so slippery, and then they will turn again and again and again. So sometimes after a spin, you really have to be careful to get the temperature under control again, and it could take a little bit of time.
It's quite counterproductive, isn't it, in a way, because it's or counterintuitive, I should say. It's you want to go fast, but you've got to go slow to get your car in a position to go fast again.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it really can give what we see sometimes, where people are saving it, and then after a little bit they crash again. And when you're spinning around and just keeping your foot in the floor, and you're just completely destroying the rear tires, and they will bite you again, as we see Max Schneider here trying again. That's a defense and a half on the inside, but he's allowed to do that. Goes for the outside into turn one. Will this be a... Yeah, what a great move, and that was decided way before they even got into turn one.
I was wondering whether Kai was going to banzai the inside of Max there, but he thought better of it. And again, that's just different timing of using the push to pass. You see that Kai's is still blinking slowly, so his is still on cooldown, whereas Max was deploying, but he can't really deploy it too well along that section as Kai's flirting with the grass. And that's compromising through the next session. Evan Imre inside the top 10. He's having a good run here, but he's got Jan Ferkel all over his tail as the AOR veteran. He's deployed push to pass at an odd point. Obviously, I didn't see exactly when he deployed it, but this seems a strange time to do it. But
he's using it right now just to defend and trying to see if he can get a little bit away. If he hasn't used a lot of his, as he's disappeared.
Oh, so he has. And
now he comes back on
once more.
Yeah, if you really want to throw off your competition, you just have to disappear.
That is lag iRacing style, ladies and gentlemen. That's not Evan doing anything bizarre. Again, well, actually, his push to pass was still going along the start finish straight there. So he's used quite a few.
Yeah, I think he will be run out, and that's a pass and a half. Wow, just completely accelerated out of that corner, and even with the push to pass, not even able to follow.
That was a very bold move from Jan. But when you got to think, how long has Evan been racing for now? A very, very long time.
Oh.
So
I think Evan even drove. He had been driven longer than I have, because he was kind of a stable even when I joined. He
knows what moves will stick, but he'll also know when not to defend, and that's quite a crucial thing to know, when what to do when the pass is either inevitable or going on. And so therefore a lot of people will trust coming past Evan or racing with Evan. It sounds a little disingenuous there, that people can come past Evan all the time. Certainly not. He's a fantastic driver, much like a lot of this field is. So trusting the people you're racing with is very, very, very important, especially when you're trying to make a move that's slightly less orthodox, as we saw Jan do a lap ago.
But as we just saw that, Evan now just doesn't have any more push to pass. So for me, he's not gonna go further up. The question really is if he's gonna go further down now with only 2.5 minutes left of this race. So but he can't really defend himself too much if anybody is getting closer now.
Scott now defending this time against Martin Whoops in the number 18 car. So what can Martin do? Yes, as you say, Nick, just a couple of minutes to go. And René Oosterkamp is hogging the honours of the fastest lap. You got to think he's doing that completely on his own. There's no slipstream going on for him. Slipstream's only really effective along that start-finish straight. Maybe on the run between 10 and 11. That's about the only other time you're going to make advantage of a slipstream. But he is, as always, completely on his own. Is this race at least?
Oh my
How
goodness
lucky
me.
was René Oosterkamp that the one moment he loses it, there's terra firma there. If that was grass, he'd have been round.
That's the only place, and that is the only place on this entire track where there's runoff. Wow. Oh my goodness me. That would have been a big one if he had hit some grass and some gravel there. That would have been a really big one. But he's pushing, and he just lost a second there from that move alone. But he's pushing out there and maybe pushing more than he needs to with only really a lap to go. Of course you go to. And now he's going on to the final lap of this race.
But does that not prove that anybody, top or bottom, can make a potentially race-ending mistake? And because any other corner,
definitely.
and he'd have been in the wall. Great battle here for the tail end of the podium spots. Marcus Putniks and Rudolf Nagel, the 86 and 22 cars, are really tussling hard as they have been. Well, certainly Rudolf has had someone to stare down most of the race. So now Marcus is having to defend. Well, he's got himself about 6.5 cents of a second. He just needs to kind of hold his nerve, really, which is a lot harder than you might think. When you've got a difficult circuit, you're concentrating very, very hard on driving the circuit properly. But when you've got someone buzzing around in your mirrors, you can very easily be distracted at the completely wrong time, and all your hard work is down the pan.
Yeah, and now we're seeing that with only 5 seconds left of this race here, as Oosterkamp have just crossed the finish line, and he will do there with almost half of his push to pass left to go.
Yonzi Lin is falling down the tower. Why? That'll be why. Oh, as the camera is pointing at the trees, and
goodness.
On the final corner.
Oh my goodness me! There's no car left. What has happened? Oh, just being.
What did I say? No.
Goodness.
A minute to go. Oh, the final corner of the final lap, and there it is again.
Wow.
I mean that. At least in sim racing terms, simply means new overalls required. But obviously a crash like that would be very, very serious in the real world. But
wow, he doesn't even hit the track. He hits the wall, and then the wall
completely
on the
jumped
opposite
over
side
the
of the track.
Oh,
and that was what we talked about early on, as we just see here. Peter Panel come in P13. Jean Bush P4. That's 2 P14s apparently. That's how we roll. But we saw that if you go off track here, it is a big one.
And there's no way you could have caught it. Caught it and saved it. But here is the results as they currently stand. René Oosterkamp taking the win. Marcus Putniks up into second with Rudolf Nagel third. In that very last moment incident we just saw, there's the tail end of the field. So a number of cars we didn't even see, some of them we didn't see. Jamie Nuttall, for instance, in the course of the race. So frantic is any sprint race.
I think he was in the first corner incident that were there, and I thought we would see a replay, but unfortunately we didn't get it on camera.
Well, next up, it's going to be the feature race. Stay with us.